Well, welcome to all the Sagittarius rising signs to your astrology for May on Cosmic 101. Trust you're doing well. A little courtesy announcement. I'm in transit and I'm in a different environment, and there are puppies around me. So if you hear any puppies in the background, that would be why I'm not in my usual place of work. So I thought I'd do the right thing, be polite, and let you know that you may hear some barking. Animals will be animals, right? Okay, so let's talk about your ruling planet Jupiter before we get into the planets in transits in May. So, Jupiter is your avatar, if you will, for this incarnation. If you're a Sagittarius rising sign, Jupiter goes through a zodiac sign once a year. So, it'd be really easy for you to uh, focus in and know well in advance on where your ruling planet Jupiter is transiting for you. It gives you a pretty good understanding of what you can expect for the year ahead. So Jupiter's winding up its transit in Gemini in your seventh house of significant others in your life through relationships and partnerships. And it's been 11 months now that Jupiter's been in Gemini in your seventh house, and it's winding this transit up. That means that you're on the precipice of going into a new focused area in your natal chart, and that will be the end of June next month, because Jupiter will then be moving into Cancer, into your eighth house, which is other people's resources, for a year. So you are winding it up slowly when it comes to identifying what gives you the most intellectual stimulating variety and diversity to keep you engaged with a relationship or a significant partnership that you're committed to. And that's beneficial for you considering you're winding things up now. So, this indicates astrologically that you may feel a little more settled and certain about what's going to give you emotional, stimulating security through other people's resources that can financially support you moving forward for the next year, come June 2025, for 12 months. So sorting out the wheat from the chaff. What's too sporadic and too chaotic for you with relationships and partnerships, and what needs to be more streamlined and structured to give you a sense of certainty and optimism in shaking hands, signing on the dotted line, putting a ring on it when it comes to other people moving forward. That's your focus for the month of May. You're heavily engaged, if you will, in who's providing the enlightenment, the fun for you, the stimulation for you to keep you engaged with a significant connection in your life. So that's like a footnote. That's where your focus is for the month of May. And now we're going to get into all the planets in transits. And it's a pretty active month, Sagittarius rising. Let's get into it. Sagittarius rising, you're not adverse to thinking long term. And on the 4th of May and to the 13th of October, this will be more of an ingrained behavior that you will be adopting. That thinking long term has its benefits, but what's beneficial with Pluto retrograding in Aquarius in your third house is your long term plans for security is going to take a little bit more proactive engagement from you when it comes to knocking shoulders with different people, places, and faces that provide opportunities for expansion and growth than the mundane daily environment that you are almost familiar with being connected to. If you want stimulation and people that can inspire you to extend your reach when it comes to communication, education, travel, and even siblings who you twin up with, then Pluto retrograde in Aquarius is a fabulous window of time from the 4th to the 13th of October to start getting onto the internet, research different peoples in society that can benefit you through different ways of thinking about your future when it comes to your security. It's a wonderful window of time to step outside your comfort zone from the 4th to the 13th of October. If you want security and stability for your future, it's going to take a little bit of elbow grease and personal inspiration to get you into an environment that has you stimulated more and more engaged and more optimistic about your future. And there's plenty of people around you that are more close at hand than you may anticipate that can show you the way to that future stability that you're seeking. It's fun to be in the moment. I totally get that Sagittarius rising, but the 5th of May is the day where being in the moment and acting on your instincts could have some serious financial repercussions. Mercury is sextiling your ruling planet Jupiter when anything is possible, and you lay down your credit card just to reiterate just how much you can make your dreams a reality on the 5th of May. Watch for overindulgence. Mercury is ingressing into Taurus, your 6th house, on the 10th of May. This is a really quick transit. Mercury will be ingressing into Gemini at the end of the month. Why I am saying this, saying it's going to be a quick transit, is because with Mercury in Taurus, it may seem like a lot of heavy lifting when it comes to the daily grind of work, co-workers, and your sense of service. So you're committed, if you will, from the 10th of May until the end of the month to slowly process the daily grind. Realize the joy in doing the hard yards, rolling up your sleeves and getting a job done. It's a quick transit, but Mercury can have us thinking that we are getting nowhere fast and we're not making progress. That's the trap we are. So from the 10th until the end of May, your astrological advice is whistle while you work. The mundane drudgery of the day-to-day routines will pass very quickly. But for now, it's all about slowing the mind and being embodied and enjoying being patient from the 10th of May when Mercury ingresses into Taurus in your 6th house. On the 12th of May, we have our first lunation of the month, and it is a full moon in Scorpio. This one's happening at 22 degrees. So if you know your natal chart, look for any planets at 22 degrees. This full moon's lighting it up. And this is your 12th house. Very interesting 12th house. And so you might feel strangely triggered on the 12th of May, and it could make you feel nervous or uncertain about your ability to get a job done, or feel like what you do regarding the daily grind is good enough. So watch for feeling less than. This is something that is quite emotionally triggering on the 12th of May. You can accomplish what you want, you can do what you want, but it may take patience and you may feel a sense of frustration or a level of incompetency on the 12th of May. But it's just a feeling. It will pass, but it will be intense when you're feeling that it's hard to get a job done. So take it easy on the 12th of May. On the 18th of May, Mercury is squaring Mars. You may not want to play this day. You may want to shut down the world. You've got bigger spiritual fish to fry on this day. So the 18th of May can have you questioning your daily commitments versus what you really want to engage with. So having a day off work probably wouldn't be too far of a stretch in thinking that could happen on the 18th, because it all might be a little bit mundane for you. So watch for thinking that shiny ball syndrome. It's a bit of a trap on the 18th. It's going to be a lot of heavy lifting to get yourself motivated to get up and do the things that you have to do. So interesting day on the 18th of May. On the 20th, the sun ingresses into Gemini, lighting up that seventh house where your ruling planet Jupiter is for 4 weeks. So the sun is joining your ruling planet in Gemini. Interesting. So the focus for you again is on where are the relationships and partnerships in my life that are beneficial, what gives me a sense of spirit, what lights me up, what's inspiring, what's optimistic about my connections that I am committed to. So you'll be questioning the validity, if you will, of relationships and partnerships in your life from from the 20th of May until the 20th of June. You'll be really focused on the stimulation that keeps you engaged with relationships and partnerships, and are they sustainable for your future moving forward. Interesting. So for 4 weeks, Sagittarius rising, you are going to at least have the sun illuminating where the distractions are and where the gold is, with signing on the dotted line, putting a ring on it, and shaking hands when it comes to anchoring into firm commitments. On the 24th of May, Mercury is conjuncting Uranus. This could be a significant relationship or partnership that we've been talking about, that you've been trying to see the forest for the trees on what's or who's worth the squeeze when it comes to long-term commitments. Well, when Mercury conjuncts Uranus, this can be a sudden shake-up that happens affecting your relationships on the 24th. Mercury conjunct Uranus is quickly changing your mind about a relationship or a commitment on the 24th of May. So you may be really considering the long-term repercussions, if you will, of a work commitment, a collaboration with a teammate, co-workers, or your sense of service. So watch out for making a quick decision regarding the daily grind, that sixth house, that's going to change your long-term future regarding a relationship. We also have Saturn ingressing into Aries, into your fifth house. Now, Saturn will retrograde back into Pisces in your fourth house, but for now, Saturn is ingressing into your fifth house of fun. Saturn isn't really renowned for fun. Saturn likes fun in creating stability when it comes to your sense of joy and pleasure. So, what structures do you need in place regarding children, if applicable, what you do for enjoyment and pleasure, and romantic relationships? What structures need to be put in place to keep that fun train going, Sagittarius rising? Saturn in Aries is fabulous for knowing what it takes to keep the fire going when it comes to creating that enjoyment in your life that you're seeking and so much deserve, Sagittarius rising. But what structures need to be put in place to keep everything and everyone you love that's near and dear to your heart going in the right direction with you? What is it that Saturn can help you with? Well, Saturn can help you, Sagittarius rising, with being patient and understanding that joy and pleasure has its place, that significant intimate relationships in your life and children, if applicable, are also going to need to temper their urgency for constant stimulation. So it will be an interesting transit for you to witness through those nearest and dearest to your heart when Saturn ingresses into Aries in your fifth house. So structure is necessary, Sagittarius rising, in your life when it comes to fun and enjoyment and excitement, because there's a time and place for such things. So balance is the key when Saturn ingresses into Aries in your fifth house from the 24th of May. On the 26th of May, Mercury leaves Taurus, your house of the daily grind and routine, and ingresses into Gemini. As I said in the opening part of the video, that Mercury was going to quickly transit in Taurus in the house of the daily grind, and it won't feel all very drudgy anymore now that Mercury is in its own home sign of Gemini, in his seventh house of relationships. So things can start to open up now. We can talk about money with relationships and partners in your life. You can also start to have an uptick with more banter with relationships and people in your life. And Mercury is fantastic at intellectualizing and communicating. So if it's felt like it's been a bit of a full stop with communication with co-workers, your work, your routines and services, well, Mercury now in Gemini from the 26th indicates that things are becoming organically easy to connect with. So you're understanding work better, you're understanding your work colleagues better, you're understanding your sense of service and what it takes to keep showing up, because you can build strong relationships by just being engaged with people and talking and communicating. It's also fantastic for ironing out any kinks or nuances regarding financial interactions with people in your life as well, with Mercury and Gemini in your seventh house. Looks great. On the day that Mercury does ingress into Gemini, we've got a quick sextile to Saturn and Uranus. So this indicates that there is almost a certainty in understanding that there's freedom and liberation in communication and enjoying the variety and diversity of relationships around you. So the 26 looks fabulous as far as communicating and getting along well with people in your life. So expect things to flow on the 26th. On the 27th of May, we have our second lunation of the month, and this is a new moon in Gemini. Exciting new moon in your seventh house of relationships and partnerships. Well, this could be just the tonic you need to feel confident, Sagittarius rising, in committing to a relationship in your life that's going to take you into the future. Looks good for certainty in signing on the dotted line, putting a ring on it, shaking your hands, and going into some form of contractual agreement on the 27th of May that's going to make you feel confident enough that this connection can take you the distance for your future, and that has enough this relationship or agreement to keep you intellectually engaged. So it looks like a confident decision is happening here on the 27th of May when it comes to partnering up. We also have Mercury trining Pluto on the day of this new moon, indicating that there is something in your immediate environment that's beneficial for you regarding partnering up. It could be for educational purposes, travel purposes, or even feeling like you found your twin person or group to connect with. So it looks lovely on the 27th of May for you committing to a stimulating relationship or an environment that feels organically on time for you. On the 30th, the Sun conjuncts Mercury. And this is fabulous for really validating and reiterating that you made the right decision regarding this new beginning with a relationship or a significant partnership in your life, Sagittarius rising. This could be a fantastic opportunity for a social event, a financial breakthrough, or financial contract to come across your table that's quite beneficial for you, that sort of hammers down that you're on the right track with this connection on the 30th of May. That's your astrology for the month. I trust you have yourself a wonderful month of May, Sagittarius rising signs. If you have any questions about my astrological services, I can be contacted at cosmicgirl101 at protonmail.com. Till next time, stay cosmic.